Hey guys, my name is Salem Sunny and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about how important it is to have a good reputation, especially if you're a Christian, a believer, and a follower of Jesus. I want to utilize the scripture, a story found in the Old Testament, to use as a foundation for bringing this point to you. It's found in the book of Joshua. In the first two chapters of the book of Joshua, you see the children of Israel after coming out of Egypt with Moses. Now as Moses is transitioning to leadership, is giving it to Joshua. Joshua is going out there to conquer the land that God had promised to Moses. And as he's going on to conquer this land, Canaan and all the surrounding lands, they come across one specific city that is a rather well-known story in the Bible. It's the City of Jericho. This is where we get the famous story in the Bible where the children of Israel walked around the city 7 times as they were going and chanting and singing praises to the Lord. And on the 7th day, the 7th time when they did so, they let out a mighty shout and the walls of the city fell down. But before we get there, I want to back it up and go to a story that led all the way to those events. It's the story of when Joshua chose 2 spies and sent them into the land to go and spy out on Jericho. So if you go to Joshua in the 2nd chapter from verse 1 to 14 is found over there. So basically Joshua picks 2 spies and tells them, go look over the land, especially in Jericho. So as they go and enter Jericho, the story goes on and says that they entered a house of a prostitute named Rahab. And as Rahab welcomed them over there, word spread into the city, word spread into that region that there were 2 spies that came from Israel to spy on Jericho. So the king of Jericho actually sent men and soldiers to Rahab's house. I still wonder how they found out that they were living in Rahab's house. Probably neighbors, right? Don't you just hate when your neighbors are too nosy? So as they came here, they're asking Rahab, okay, where else all these spies? And Rahab says, well, basically she lies. She says that they came in, she didn't know where they came from, but they left. If you can hurry up, you can catch them. But in fact, the spies were actually hiding in her rooftop. So after the soldiers went away, Rahab goes and speaks to the spies. And this is really where I want to focus. Why she tells the spies and why I believe having a good reputation is so vital. So the story goes on in verse 8. It says it was coming dark. It was almost nighttime before the spies went to sleep. Rahab goes up to them and speaks to them and says something that's very powerful. I know the Lord has given you this land, and that a great fear of you has fallen on us, so that all who live in this country are melting in fear because of you. We have heard how the Lord has dried up the water of the Red Sea for you when you came out of Egypt, and what you did to Sihon and Og, the 2 kings of the Amorites east of the Jordan, whom you've completely destroyed. When we heard of it, our hearts melted in fear, and everyone's courage fell because of you. For the Lord your God is God in heaven above and on earth below. And then she goes on to say, now then, please swear to me by the Lord that you will show kindness to my family because I've shown kindness to you. Give me a sure sign that you will spare the lives of my father and my mother, of my brother and sisters, and all who belong to them, and that you will save us from death. And this is the spies answering, our lives for your lives. The men assured her, if you don't tell what we are doing here, we will treat you kindly and faithfully when the Lord give us the land. Such a powerful passage. Rahab is speaking to the spies and tells them, your reputation, the news of what God has done through you guys has already preceded you guys. The whole city is in fear because we know that your God is the God of the heavens above and the God of the earth below. We know what he's done. He's dried up the Red Sea when you guys came out of Egypt. You've conquered so many kings. You've conquered these 2 kings of the Amorites in the east of the Jordan. You went and destroyed the different lands that were there. You guys are conquerors and you're champions on your path here. So people are already afraid because your reputation has preceded you. And I believe in today's society, nothing is much more important than someone's reputation. Companies and corporations and organizations spend thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars for their brand, their image, and the type of reputation that they have. From big companies to small startup, they put a lot of money into making sure that the reputation that they have, the review that the customer give, the reputation that some of the clients in which they work for, the reputation of other companies towards them is still kept good. We see from players who want to make sure that their image on social media or in the field, anything they do, or extracurricular activities that they do is kept well. We see that even from politicians, they want to make sure that their reputation is always seen in a good light. And I think as believer of Christ, we have to take it rather important that we have a message to give. The message that Jesus can come and save anybody, that Jesus can transform lives. But see, that message sometimes can be smeared or overshadowed by the negative reputation that one may have, or especially the one who's presenting that message. So it's hard for someone to receive a message from a discredited source. And what I mean by discredited source is just someone who has discredited his or her reputation. That's making it hard for people to believe a true or genuine message that you might have of Christ. As believers, and especially as the church, we must walk with kindness and love and really go out there and be an example of God. In this specific story, you see Rahab as she's speaking to the spies and said, I've heard of all these mighty things you've done, how you've destroyed kings, how you've walked on dry land, how you've conquered many lands. But can you show kindness? Whether you're looking at this from an organizational business standpoint or just as a personal individual as you're walking, whether you're a believer of Christ or not, I think still this may pertain to you. Your reputation speaks so much value. See, I can have money today and lose it. I'll find a way to get it back. But once I lose my good reputation, it is very hard to gain back a good reputation. What does your name say about you? When your name is brought up in a conversation, what does that say about the type of individual you are? As believers and followers of Jesus, we have to consciously always walk around knowing that we are representing the King of Kings. Jesus came to help the less fortunate, that Jesus came for those who are suffering, that Jesus came to save every single one. So let's walk with more love. Let's walk with more kindness to the world. And my prayer is that your positive reputation may be able to precede you and open doors even where you haven't arrived yet. So in this specific story, we see that because of the reputation that the children of Israel had, it opened a door so that the spies, when they came in Jericho, they were safe in Rahab's house. So as you're walking into whatever this new phase of your life is, whatever this new things you're taking, I pray that your reputation will cause you to have a positive impact on the people you are going to meet, you are going to come in interaction with. I'm very excited for what God has in store for you, and my prayer is that this may be an encouragement, just a small reminder that your reputation is extremely valuable. And if you believe this video was valuable to you, give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. But more importantly, make sure you subscribe to the page so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Never forget, you are God's very best. Have a good rest of the day. See you.